Well, I mean, I guess now we should probably get into like what are people's thoughts about this dude writing "This is your reparations" on the gun.
Yeah.
And then people then Brianna Greyjoy trying to play off like, well, nobody's really talking about reparations. Well, this kid knew what reparations was. I didn't know what reparations was at 18. Nobody was talking about reparations when I was 18. If I was going to shoot up some shit at 18, I wouldn't have wrote no shit about reparations on the gun, even if I was killing white folks, talk about where was mine. So obviously he knew what was up. And the reason why he knew about a reparations fight is because we out here making noise and shaking the table.
Don't forget, January 6th, that white man was in front of that black cop's face at the police line, asking him, how you think I'm going to feel when they pay you reparations. You'll find that clip, bud.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't stand there and tell me that it worked. I'm telling you that the bucket of apples had 10 apples in it, and then now it has 8 apples in it, and you're telling me it still has 10 apples in it. You know that's not true. What kind of a life do you think your family, your children, your grandchildren are going to have in this country if these people do what they want to do? You know, I grew up in the 1960s. I was maybe 7 years old during the riots in South Plainfield. You grew up in the 60s, my people were dying every day. Okay? Thank you. Yeah. The judicial system worked. Yeah. We trust the process. And that changed. There was no racism in the United States. There was no racism. There was none. Now they've recreated racism. They've recreated it. Not in your world. So all my forefathers who hung on that strange fruit, it did work. But what do you think it's going to do for race relations when they make me pay you for reparations? What do you think that's going to do for race relations, officer? You think it's going to help? You think it's going to make white people like black people?
I remember that. I saw that. And I was like, yep, the message is getting through. So I agree with you that, yeah, reparations is not going to fix everything, but it will put us in a position where, you know, if you want to call me nigger, if you want to put it on your gun or wherever you want to put it at, you're going to do it at your house. I know you ain't going to bring it to me. You'll do it across the street. You'll do it somewhere else. I bet you won't walk into whatever communities that we create or whatever it is, or whatever that's going to look like. But I know based on past history, when we get reparations, because we will get it. I know we will get it. But when we get it, we will put ourselves in a position where they cannot do the shit that bastard did in Buffalo, period. And that's what they're afraid of.
And I want to go further. Yes, facts. And I want to go further with that because I saw people being like, do you think we should take our reparations conversations underground because they're attacking us? No. We push harder. And let me tell you why. Because at the end of the day, like you said, what are you going to do when you get reparations and white people come and take it? We're going to go live in our communities and we're going to tool up like they do. And we're going to get our guns. We're going to get our planes. We're going to hire black folks that been in the military. They're going to create their own Z groups. And we're going to hire our own folks. We may hire y'all just long enough to train our Negroes and then send you away like y'all do us. But understand, with this money, we can protect ourselves. Trust and believe it. Because if you give us enough money, the type of money that we really pushing for, the government's going to protect us because they're going to have to.
Gendron says he considered targeting this shopping mall in Rochester, New York, and this one in the nearby town of Greece, as well as supermarkets in Hempstead, Long Island. He choreographed every detail. I've been planning this attack for what seems like years now. Every day that goes by, it feels less like a joke and more real, he posted. When he finally settled on the top supermarket in Buffalo, he decorated his AR-15 assault rifle with the names of other mass killers who are known white supremacists.
They gonna treat us like rich white folk. That's what y'all really don't want.
Real talk. Real talk.
To me, this feels like everything that the Buffalo shooter said sounds like something I've debated with some random Connor on Twitter about. Like this is like the average thought amongst like, or at least the people that are on Twitter, amongst like openly right-leaning people.
And isn't this leftist too? And leftists too. Like this shooter, he falls under that KKK populism. That's that Stalker Chris duo.
Absolutely. Like, and like this is like every average person. This isn't like some random radical outlier. No, this is like, to the extent that like this is to be connected to Tucker Carlson, like this is who is in everybody's house every night in these communities. This is the most popular, he's the most popular, what's the word for this? Somebody help me out.
Commentator. He's a commentator.
He's the most popular commentator in America. And like he's in all of your houses. Like there's a reason for that. He's resonating with somebody. Like he's not creating the audience, he's chasing it.
He has producers. His producers, they have a team. They go on the internet and figure out what's popping, and they have Tucker speak to it. If all Republicans were talking about reparations for Negroes, Tucker would be talking about reparations for Negroes. He's chasing the dragon.
He's chasing the white working class, just like Bernie.
But Tucker is like Tucker has been very, very good at cloaking what it is he's actually saying. Like it sounds like if you're not really abreast to what this is and you listen to what he's saying, it doesn't seem like he's saying anything nefarious. But he's gone into the forums.
It's dog whistling.
Yeah, I mean, he's gone into the forums and he's found what is the hot shit amongst the white supremacists, and he has packaged it up in a way that is consumable to the average American. But again, he's not the source. He's chasing all of this, and this is the internet energy. Like this is the 4chans, the 8chans, the deep dark web motherfuckers, all those motherfuckers. This is what they're on. This is what they're talking about. And we also have to understand like the propaganda game that is being played on like all levels, because even the people that are supposed to be like in the leftist spaces, they don't want to be honest about like some of this dude's motivations, like because he's not like the super right wing motherfucker. He's talking about he's anti-capitalist. He's anti-corporatist.
He wasn't poor. He wasn't dumb. He had a future.
He's eco-friendly. Like, and when he said he did the political compass thing, he's like authoritative left. So it's not. This is a mixture of the ideologies and the internet pipeline, the YouTube pipeline, that was for the alt-right a few years ago, and now it's like for this like alt-right socialist shit that is kind of like being presented to people. But it's like it's almost like class reductionist socialism that's being presented to people, and these alt-right motherfuckers are able to hide in that group because both groups are trying to get away from the race conversation. They're trying to get away from dealing with the American descendants of chattel slavery in this country and our issue.
Well, we're not going away. So, I'm quoting someone, I don't even know who I'm quoting, but I remember this. Every day that we're walking around is proof that there is a crime in progress. Every day that we walk around, we are a reminder of the crime in progress. So they can try all they want. They can try to not talk about it, try to dismiss it, try to hide it under somebody else, try to give somebody else the goodies that are meant for us, if that's what you want to call it. But I think now with the way that they're trying, with the way that media and different political parties are trying to spin this, by throwing it on conservatives or right wing or whatever's going on. I think that that's their new Trump. That's the way that they don't have Trump to hide up behind anymore. So now they're going to try to do this. I think they're grasping at anything at this point as they get closer and closer to midterms and as they get closer and closer to, the general election in 24. Because they have nothing and they know that we are their base. I'm talking about the Democratic side, the majority of our people, which I don't ascribe to any of these parties because they all agree that they disagree on how to abuse Negroes, but they agree that they want to abuse the Negroes.
Facts.
I did
The
want to
left
say,
has nothing to say to us. Sorry.
you good. I did want to say real quick, the reason I brought up Tucker Carlson at all is because I wanted to connect that to reparations. Because like I said, like he's not creating that audience, he's chasing it. And I think I stole that from Irony. But like if we had reparations, there would be a reason for someone to chase us as well. So like the reason they keep us poor is so like nobody like when the fact that we're kept poor is why like our propaganda machine doesn't produce anything. Like there's no incentive for Tucker Carlson to be trying to put black issues on the news because there ain't no money in that. But if we had money, then it makes a lot less sense to be racist. And that's kind of been my problem consistently. Is like y'all want to overlook the obvious solution so y'all can go heal the world as long as the Negroes remain on the bottom. That has been like my biggest problem with the left. As many times as I've tried to align, but like after this last situation, it's not possible. I'm over y'all at this point.
Yeah, I'm over them too. Like I really can't. And that's where I'm at. And it's not all of you guys, because like some of y'all can't be mad at me because I don't see you as the representatives of your community. Let's just keep it a buck. Like your institutions, your media are still anti-Black racist. So you can be good white folk. And I like you as good white folk. And I'm glad you're an ally. I know you advocate to your people. I still try to talk to your people, for those of y'all who will still listen to me on this show. But, but I can't not say what the truth is because you happen to be a good white person. But you can't, I'm not lumping you in a group, but I'm sorry that, the group that you're a part of tends to have a lot of like, racists and people who are really anti-Black, but they feel like they're multicultural, so they don't feel like they're racist. But you can like people of color, you can have Indian friends and Asian friends and still hate Black Americans who descend from chattel slavery. It's very easy to compartmentalize.
It is. I call it like the pit bull syndrome. Like I know a lot of nice pit bulls. They're some of the silliest ones I've ever met. But the reputation of the breed, of what the damage that they can do, I do not like that breed of animal. So, and I also say this, my own views, no one else's. I do not think that there are any good white people. I think that there are some white people that have good moments. And then I think there's some white people that just don't. They're just soulless people. So there may be a few out there that aren't like that. That's fine. But like I said before, you don't outnumber the ones that are doing what they're doing.
Well, the left always wants to individualize white supremacy, and that's the gaslight. That's why they're like, you have to approach these conversations already knowing the deal, because when you don't, they get you with that. Like, no, you have to show and prove. They always want to like uphold John Brown. He died, right? And that's what happens when you attack the system. You're going to be the first one to die. And that's what I want my people to understand. Like, it's like our individual relationships with white people don't matter. This system and everybody who is not white that plays a role in white supremacy matters. And that standard should be that you sacrifice the way that we will. And when we sacrifice, we die. But when they sacrifice, when they really sacrifice, they die too. And they're not willing to die. They're not willing to lose anything. Why would they when they're winning in this equation? So that's how we have to look at it. And that's why we don't need to listen to them or even hear their sob stories or even have conversations, really.